Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Update. We've got a very special edition for you here tonight, which is a combination of not only the COASTER-net Update, but also the Hauniverse Update as well, because we've got some big news coming out of Utah. Something, Brian, that I didn't think I'd ever see ever. That I have heard of this.
I see what you did there. Continue. Sorry, it's good. Yeah, I liked it.
So I've heard of this new park that's supposedly been ready to open for the last few years.
And it's been a bit. It's been a journey.
It really has, and I thought it was too ambitious. It was too wide of a scope, but it seems like finally they are selling tickets. And that Evermore out in Utah, this brand new park to the south of Salt Lake City, is finally going to open. Now, for those of you who love theme park rides and roller coasters, this is not the place for you because there'll be none of that.
They're using the theme park term, and I think it's confusing some people in that regards. But go ahead.
Well, the general concept of this park is that you are going to enter into a park that has a storyline, that has a theme. It's very mythical, almost a little bit of Lord of the Rings with some elvish stuff, with some traditional demons and goblins, all set within this European village. And it's almost, I think the best way to describe it is live interactive theater.
Mm-hmm.
And both of us are kind of like theater guys. Yep. So, this is like almost like a dream come true. And I think the part that really sold me about Evermore has been their attention to detail thus far, that all the concept art has looked outstanding. They've done some backstage stuff with costuming, and all of it just looks out of this world amazing. That they are really going, the full, 9 yards here to try to put this together. Yep. So what are some of your thoughts here on Evermore? Because I know you've been following this a lot closer than I have.
I mean, Andy, you know what? I need to stand for this, all right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm about to explode. Here we go. Let's unpack this because loyal fan number one right here, I don't care what anyone else says, Evermore, let's go back to Sleep No More, right? Before Evermore, you have Sleep No More. You have interactive theater. You have Punch Drunk. You have all of these immersive theater companies from London and in Europe doing things that we're just now catching up to. You and I are big fans of theater, and we're a big fan of haunted houses. And honestly, haunted houses are immersive theater at the core, I would say. In a much quicker, flashier sense. You're walking through a story, you're interacting with it. Evermore, when it was announced, I called it, it was a pipe dream. It was like, that's what I want. It's dead in the water. It's never going to happen. You look at the original, I'm trying to find it. They've buried it exceptionally, I will say. I'm trying to find the first date that this company came about, and they have buried their original plans so well, which is fine. I don't care. In the same regards, what you said behind the scenes, every company out there right now, go to Evermore's Facebook page. You will not, in my opinion, find a better company that keeps updates behind the scenes and the community involved better than Evermore is doing. And I'm saying this from following them for several years at this point. And they are not shy about it. You comment, they will respond. You challenge them on their journey, they will fire back. I mean, let's go back to their history where they promoted this huge park, immersive theater, 365. Every season has a different story. Yeah. Every year has a new update. There's hotels, there's walkthroughs, there's characters. It's the future of amusement parks, in my opinion. And then it becomes impossible to pull off. And they had some amazing demos at expos on videos, makeup artists, props, animatronics, stuff that dreams are made of for haunted house fans. I mean, the artwork they're doing, like you said, they're going all in on detail. The authenticity is unparalleled to anything I've seen. I would argue next to Sleep No More in terms of detail. And they kind of lay low, and then the Void comes out, right? Is that, I believe that's the attraction they point. Yeah, the Void, the virtual reality Void.
Which I did. I did that in Vegas.
Everyone loved it. It was great. I remember the first time they did a test run of it at Madame Tussauds or whatever it's called. I believe I'm going back here. This could be very inaccurate, but I'm pretty sure they're the ones who did a dry run of it to be like, here's what it could be. It's awesome. And then they do the Void. People loved it. And then all of a sudden, I'm just scrolling through Facebook one day, another bad day like today, where you have the family recovering from hand, foot, and mouth. 2 of the kids at pink eye. And as Andy just found out 10 minutes ago, my AC just went out in one of the hottest summers we've ever had. But that's okay, because I'm scrolling through Facebook, I don't know, earlier this year. I don't remember when this amazing, beautiful day happened. But I see a construction picture. And I'm like, that's weird. That just looks like park construction. Like, who's building a giant project that I'm following? And it was Evermore. And they had broken ground. And I stood up and danced. I couldn't believe it. Now, yes, it's scaled back. It's not exactly what the plans were. But Andy, based on what they're promoting right now, who cares?
Well, it sounds like right now what they are doing is that there's going to be 3 seasons that they're going to try and launch. And they're actually launching, I think, with the best of the 3 seasons, because it's going to make them probably the most money. And this one's going to be called Lore. And what this one's all about is it's basically, the darker side of Evermore. They're going to start with the Halloween theme. They're going to start with this more scarier, darker. I'm a little hesitant to say haunted house-ish, because I don't think you're going to have what we would consider to be traditional haunted houses in here.
Correct.
But this is where they're going to start. And then they have 2 other seasons planned. One is called, is like their Christmas event called Aurora. And then they're also going to have a general summer event. Now, we don't really know much more about those 2 things and what they're going to look like. But you can already buy tickets for Lore, that they're having an opening day ceremony that you're going to be able to go in there. I don't get the sense, though, right now, if this is going to be like a regular theme park that's open every day. Like, they're talking about special events. They're talking about parties. They're talking about kind of like when you think about like live theatrical stuff, it's not that everyday, 365. Maybe eventually that's the goal.
Yeah. But
it sounds like they scaled back in terms of not only the size of the park, but also how many days it's going to be open as well. Look at that.
Agreed.
So the thing that blew me away is there's a nice 5-minute little video on YouTube that they did, basically talking about this and talking about the generalities. And it's like every single person who works in that park is going to be part of the story. That's what they keep pushing, is everything has a story. And this park looks beautiful as well. Authenticity. They brought stuff over from Europe. This isn't like they've built a lot of stuff themselves, but this isn't like, you go to a theme park and you have this beautiful facade and it's a regular building on the backside. No, they are building these things with the intent of this is 360. This is immersive. This is what it's supposed to look like. They've brought over real artifacts from Europe to put into different places to give it more of an authentic feel. Everyone's going to be in costume. Everyone's going to be in a character. There's going to be beautiful gardens involved in this as well. They got a full-time gardener.
Combining everything. It's amusement parks. It's cosplay. It's Renaissance Festival. It's holiday. And you talk about the detail. Go, if you're watching this right now and you're like, I don't know, I'm not sold. I want rides, whatever. Just be open to it. As someone who has done immersive theater, it's what you crave. It's part of why I would argue you go to parks, especially if you're a haunt fan. If you're a haunt fan or a theater fan, here's the only negative about Evermore is it's like way over there,
Yeah.
It's really far away. Great way to justify visiting some cool stuff like Cannibal and some other things out west. But look at the construction. They are bringing in, and I'm super ignorant about construction, but they have updated I tried to scroll to find history on them. Go to their Facebook. You will scroll for hours because of the content they update on their sculptures, their architecture. They're bringing in real stones. They're doing it the right way. And they even, I remember they responded to someone like, why are you doing this? And they're like, we understand foam would be easier. We understand that painting would be easier, but we want it to feel authentic. And I'm sorry, you have to respect that. It's the coolest thing. And I might have reacted. Rob Dole and Andy and maybe even Danny, who's having the time of his life at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg right now, which, by the way,
maybe that park I was talking about.
Maybe that park you were talking about. I might have like, hey, you remember this thing I've been like mentioning for the last 4 years and no one's listening about? It's finally here, and it's true. Now, are they scaling back, or was their first plan too ambitious? I think they're opening where they should have been. I think it's great to shoot for the moon. They're coming back. Like you said, will it be every day? Will it be special events? Will it be shows? We don't know right now. I guarantee you it'll get to a point where it'll be in full operation. They'll expand the way they want to. The only thing that concerns me about this is the location.
Yeah, you're talking about south of Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
that's gonna be tough. Like I was looking at flights today. I can get into Salt Lake City, with a few weeks notice here, $400.
Yeah, is that round trip?
That's round trip. I can do. When I go to Orlando, that's about the same price. So I guess if they truly make this a destination place.
Yeah.
That you know what? If I'm going to spend $400 to go to Knott's Berry Farm and Knott's Scary Farm, granted there's other parks, but you do have Lagoon in Salt Lake City. Yeah. Depending on when you go, Salt Lake City is a pretty accessible city by air, so hopefully that helps. But I do think that the location, if they would have done this anywhere else besides maybe like Hawaii or Alaska, it probably would have more, but maybe that's also what they're going for, is that you're probably, I don't know if this is going to be a park that 5,000 to 10,000 people are going to attend on any given day. Is it going to be a more intimate setting where you only have maybe 1,000 people moving about, which is we always talk about with haunts, the conga line. Yeah. The more people you get, the less of an experience you get.
And if you're having interactions, let's go to Harry Potter World real quick, right?
Yeah.
You got these interactive wands, and you have to wait in line to use them.
Yes.
And is that what it's going to be like? Oh, my story's going to further. Because this goes back, this has layer on layer on layer, and I'm trying to just I know this update, I'm trying not to ramble, but we've talked to Imagineers. I have a buddy who had a conversation with one who talked about, and you see it being put into place now, how immersiveness and connectivity with apps and phones and full storytelling from the time you start to the time you leave being the future of amusement parks. And the Disney Star Wars Hotel is proof that they're putting that concept into reality. And if you remember, again, this is so hard to go back, and I'm going to be honest, I shut the door on Evermore because I was upset. I was sad. I got my hopes up, and I remember talking to Devin. I remember that we were like, if this happens, this will be what I've wanted. This will be amazing. And we knew it couldn't. It was not possible. Just like Sleep No More. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they got up and running with the amount of detail and money they put into it. And I remember giving up on Evermore. And now that it's happening, it's they're supposed to be a hotel. It is a destination thing. And to the point where I have a lot of places I'd like to go, Andy. I'm sure Salt Lake is beautiful. Park-wise, I have about 10 things above Salt Lake City that I need to go see. I have never been to California. I have a lot of things. I need to do. But this addition, this Evermore Park in the middle of respectively nowhere, I want to fly there. I want to go. I want to take Abby, and she'd be down too. She's a theater person. We want to go and see it. And they've been at expos, man. They've been giving out these amazing coins they've made. They went to, I think, some conventions, some haunt conventions. They had some of their characters to show off. We got
Oh,
evil
right.
genius status coming up on the other side of the screen right now. He's stressing me out a little bit. He's got some diabolical plans here. But man, if this can be what it's lining up to be, I mean, I remember I've been in love with it for years. Everything they've shown, their sculptures, their animatronics, their soundtracks, and everyone there is so passionate. I'm in the video, film, photography industry. I adore passion and artists because if you're an artist in any degree, you're doing it for free. Even to the point where you operate a haunted house that
Yeah.
barely gets by. It's for the fun of it. It's for the love of it. It's for the passion. And if you watch any of their interviews, it's in the right hands to be done well.
Well, and that's one of the points they make in that video is that this isn't owned by a corporate park, that this is a labor of love for these people, and everyone seems to be on the same page. And the tickets, so they've just released tickets for their opening night, which is going to be in September. Let me look at the actual.
Which, if you go look at the last construction pictures before this update, it was like, are you gonna make it? Are you gonna do that? Open?
So September 8th, from 7 to midnight.
That's less than a month away.
That's less than a month away. They are selling tickets that are about $90 each to get in. So we will see what happens here, and if it, I think they're past the point of no return here, where
100% they're all in.
That you gotta open at this point, right? Like you're selling tickets, so
so many people waiting, and the tickets are sold. Which, by the way, I know everybody there is awesome, and they have lives. But Evermore, if you are watching this right now, please fly us out there so we can check it out, because we will review it positively regardless of what happens, because we want you to succeed. Because this is stuff America doesn't get, Andy.
Yeah.
This is Europe. This is Asia. This is responsible audiences in America. Maybe that's why they did it there, to be away from the idiots who ruin stuff.
Well,
Sleep No More. Sleep No More was word of mouth. And that's because if they promoted themselves, and I hate this term, and I would love to see Rob Dole's expression when I say the general public would not handle Sleep No More very well. They wouldn't. They really wouldn't. I've been in one. I've seen it 3 times, and there was a middle time. Gossip Girl put it on the show, and the creators said they regretted it. They never wanted video inside of that experience because it cannot properly capture. Also, speaking to Evermore, I don't think videos will do it justice. I don't think photos will do it justice. But you get the wrong crowd right away. You need to establish it. You need to figure out the flow, and you need the hardcore fans. And I think that's who's going to show up to Evermore, which I think is building them up for success. People want to love this. People want it to work. It's so different. They're beating Disney to the punch, in my opinion, of the whole immersive experience. Disney will have a market in that finally, with the Star Wars hotel, and where you're a character as soon as you get on property to the day you leave. We're going to see a lot of people go into that. Immersive theater has really grown in the last few years. You just got to know where to find it. And Evermore it's mixing, it's marrying the two worlds. I mean, from the time you park and you go in, and from there on, it's up to you to explore, to find things. There's secret. There's character. It's amazing, and it's beautiful. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, if it's half as nice as some of the concept art is, it's going to be outstanding. So
absolutely.
So I'm really excited to see what happens here. So we will keep you updated on all the Evermore statuses, even though it may not be a traditional theme park with rides and stuff. I still think it's going to kick some major ass.
Culture yourself, guys. Go there.
So as always, I'm Andy Barczyk from Chicago, Illinois.
This is Brian Bass from a non-air-conditioned house in the hottest summer in a really long time. Nashville, Tennessee, B-Bass. Evermore is the future.
Right on, right, Warriors.